Everybody. Welcome back. This is Enasia, and this is going to be a pick a pile, pick a deck, pick a goddess reading for my channel, Ignited Intuition. And so, what I wanted to do here was a spread based on cards building upon one another based on the goddess that you choose. So, that's why the goddess are here face up. I actually did this reading for myself yesterday. I just pulled a goddess and built a story question after question with the tarot deck afterwards. And I mean, I liked it. I gained perspective and I gained knowledge, and that's what I love is knowing. So I wanted to share with you this spread. So I was like, I'm going to pick four goddesses. This is from the Dark Goddess Oracle deck. And so the story is going to build from the goddess that you choose. And it's going to be as you go. So I'm going to ask the questions. There might be similar questions or different questions per deck that I use, but we shall see. The first goddess here is Tiamat, control. So this is going to be the first pile. I'm using the Hermetic Tarot. This is second pile, second deck, using the Universal Rider Waite Tarot. And this second goddess is Sheela Na Gig, and her keyword desperation. I'm not sure if I said Tiamat, control. Third goddess here, using the Santa Muerte Tarot. It's Medea, deception. And lastly, fourth pile, using Anima Mundi Tarot, is Fortuna and fate. So I wrote a little something when I flipped the goddess cards over. Whatever words came to me in that moment, I've written them down here. This can help you choose your goddess, help you choose your deck, whatever. It's your choice. So firstly here, it's Tiamat and control. And the words I have here are ice, concentrated, energy slowed down, strength over dominance, fortified, stakes, worth the claim your stakes, and only what you allow. For Sheela Na Gig and desperation, the words that came out are creeping in and you feel you can't win, can't face it, hiding in plain sight, a pleading that knows better. Next goddess is Medea, keyword deception. Keywords that I wrote here were stalwart, which I actually had to look up. I've heard that word before, but not sure what it meant. So stalwart and stalemate. And I almost want to put the V between stalwart and stalemate as like V for verses, right? So stalwart is loyal, reliable, and hardworking. Stalemate is unable to move and defeat. And then seemingly all on your own. Will it ever end? And who deceives? And the next goddess is Fortuna, fate. And what I've written here is coming in from all sides, favors, concentration on focus and focus on all, a heroine with the times. Okay, so pick your pile and we shall build the story as to what this goddess has in store for you. Okay? Alright, hello. If you chose Tiamat and control in pile 1, you have chosen the goddess of control. I'm going to read a little bit from the book that came with this oracle deck. It says, don't get swept away. It says you love everything to be how you want it to be and have tendencies to want to be in control, forgetting that this isn't always the way of the world. Tiamat swims through the primordial seas of chaos to urge you to surrender, for she knows all too well the catastrophic consequences control can bring. Allowing all to unfold naturally will ensure that any outcome will turn out in perfect order, and more often than not, better than anyone could have imagined. Being controlled by another, however, has monstrous no, I'm sorry, however, has been monstrous for you. So Tiamat offers to assist you in this instance in regaining sovereignty in your life. And her foresight says that you are more powerful than you think. Enforce some authority as someone is trying to influence you. And walk away from those who do not serve your highest interests. Reclaim your self-power. So, going along with what I've written as far as ice concentrated energy slowed down, I feel a real fierceness from this goddess. She is the only goddess out of all of them who's facing forward. Her eyes are locked on your eyes or on wherever she's looking, her concentrated effort. When I said ice, I thought about like the molecules of ice being slowed down versus when it's in its water state, right? Its liquid state, how energy is more free flowing. So there's a sense of needing to be frozen so that you do not try to control everything around you. You're unable to control everything around you because you're in this frozen and concentrated state. And in this frozen and concentrated state, I feel like you can work your wonders and things like that. Strength over dominance. So if you look at her here, she has a dragon around her neck, and she's not controlling this dragon because her arms are literally folded. This dragon wants to be around her neck. She has been able to control this immense power that is actually found in these mystical creatures of dragons, and she has this thing just hanging out with her. You know what I mean? She's controlling it, but with a silent strength versus over dominance. Okay? Fortified and stakes, right? She's fortified. She's okay in her state of doing nothing, right? Arms folded, she's doing nothing, and she's fine with that. Only what you allow. Clearly, it's what's in your control and what's out of your control. It's about knowing what you can and cannot control, and knowing what's worth it for you, and knowing when to stand up for yourself and say that it's worth it for you, right? So it's what you can and cannot control. So I'm going to see what the cards say about how Tiamat right now is assisting you, and what it is that the energy of control has, whatever's coming out over what part of your life here. So where is Tiamat here to assist when it comes to control? Okay. So the Eight of Swords here. Oh, no. There it is. The Eight of Swords. It says Lord of Shortened Effort. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Eight of Swords. Lord of Shortened Force. And I don't know why I said effort, but you know what? It works here. The Eight of Swords is typically a card that you see in the universal, the universal Rider-Waite Tarot. It's a woman with her hands bound loosely, but other than that, bound. She has a blindfold on, and she's surrounded by these 8 swords, and it's like this victim mode, this victim state where you feel like your hands are tied, but you're only in a victim mode in your mind because you can easily remove that blindfold, and you can easily remove those loose bindings that you feel are part of your prison, in your imprisonment. So Tiamat here is trying to assist you in feeling like you are in control, and knowing that sometimes you might feel that your hands are tied or that you cannot do something, but in the case is that it's happening in your mind, like you are allowing yourself to be in this state. In life, we allow ourselves many things, because believe it or not, we are in control of what happens directly to us. Usually, let's not talk about universal forces right now, but we can control what happens to us, right? Based on our reactions, based on our actions, based on our thoughts and things like that. So she's assisting you with the feelings of being imprisoned by a lack of control, but also she's telling you that you do have the control that you're seeking. Okay? So now I want to ask, why is this Eight of Swords here? Why is there this feeling that you can't move past a certain obstacle in your life, or you can't get a grasp on something in your life? Why is this Eight of Swords here? What do you feel out of control in, or what's of? So we have here the Princess of Cups, Princess of the Palace of the Floods. What I feel like you're in lack of is something is like bothering your heart, and there's a sense of fear about opening up to something that is brand new, opening up to something that is trying to come in, trying to make its way towards you, that is probably foreign to you. Like, it feels good, it's something that will make you feel good, but it feels like foreign, like to you, where you're not either used to it, or you don't believe in it, or you don't expect it. And so you kind of keep yourself in a sense of, okay, yeah, I do want this thing. And then when it's coming your way, you're like, wait, but. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh, whoa, but what about this and what about this? And you ask a bajillion questions, and by then, like, the magic is over. Like, what came, or what was coming, or what was promised, or this feeling, the feeling of something being given to you that would bring you joy, it's already like, it's been stopped by like 1,000 swords of doubt here. You know what I mean? You've like literally stabbed this to death. Okay. So I'm gonna ask, let's see, I'm gonna ask how you can allow how can you drop the restrictions here? How can you drop the restrictions from letting this energy come in towards you? How can you drop these restrictions? Okay. So the Knight of Cups here, Lord of Waves and Waters. So I feel like dropping the restriction of the flow that comes, the flow that comes with like letting go of control, like holding on to something so tightly, is actually really just allowing it to come in. I feel like there's a sense here of the initial brink that has been pushed. It's like, let it flood in. Be okay with not knowing where something is headed, because it's the starting point is like it's telling you that something positive wants to come in here, right? Something positive wants to move into your energy field when it comes to matters of the heart and matters of emotion and what you hold dear. It could be person, place, thing, situation, you know what I'm saying? But it's allowing this energy to like go over the wall, like no, let's say it's allowing this energy to be filled, right? The cup is filled here, and this here is allowing it to like flood open, like let the floodgates go, let go of this needing to control everything in your mind and control every situation and outcome and thing and person and whatever it is, and just letting this flow of letting it come in and not fearing where it's going, not even thinking about where it's going, just literally letting it come in and like flood over. Okay, so let's see here. What does Tiamat want to tell you about your sense of control? What does she want to tell you about your sense of control? There's a lot of cups coming out here. You have the Ace of Cups now. And this is the Lord of the root of the powers of water. What she wants to tell you about your sense of control is literally, you see this? This cup floweth over. This cup has so much to give that it's giving to not only itself, its own hand, it's giving to everything around it and everything surrounding it. What she wants to tell you about control and your sense of control is that it's not to let it become that it is twofold. How do you say that? Whatever. That it's a double-edged sword in a sense, because you can control the flow of what excites you and what brings you excitement when it comes to the things you care about, and putting in, that concentrated effort into the things that you believe in, and, all the things that make you excited for life or fulfilled and happy. So you can control that, but don't allow it to also be that you're so controlled into thinking you know exactly what you want that you leave yourself in a state of not moving. Like water not moving becomes what? Stale, right? Water that doesn't move is stagnant. So if you're too much in control of thinking you know exactly what you need in every which moment, you're going to miss out sometimes, because you're going to stop the flow. You're going to just stop the flow and it's going to become stagnant. So, choose your battles. Find, again, your stakes. What is worth the claim and what isn't worth the claim, and claim your stakes when needed. Okay? So I'm going to end it there. I think this was pretty good. So I hope you enjoy your reading. And, yeah, thanks. Thanks for, listening to me. And I hope this message serves you well. Until the next time, peace out. Okay, hello. If you chose the second goddess, pile 2. We have here Sheela Na Gig and Desperation. I'm going to read a little bit from the book as to what the message that this author wrote about these goddesses. So it says here, you are getting weary of empty promises. Time after time you find yourself alone and rejected, and a lack of self-worth has followed you around since you heard the immortalized words, happily ever after. It says you've dreamed of the one of your beloved who whispers they've been waiting for you. However, all is not as you wish the fairy tale to be. You give your all only to have your life and soul sucked from you, and then you are abandoned, and you worry you're not good enough, that nobody will ever love you as you beat yourself up. Sheela Na Gig urges you to stop giving yourself to the first person who comes along, and instead have dignity and pride in your unique being. And the Dark Goddess's foresight says here, speak your truth lovingly, try to be patient, and know you deserve love. Draw upon your past experiences to grow stronger. Remember you're worthy to truly stand in your power, and disregard any opinion that states differently, and shine your light. So, with Sheela, the words I chose here of creeping in and you feel you can't win. I mean, it's, even the word desperation is pretty, we know what that means, right? There's no guessing, there's no need to guess. And I feel like, heavy shoulders here when it comes to not getting everything that you dream about, and not getting the things that you deserve. And in a sense here, it's like your beauty, your love, everything is hiding in plain sight, because it's like masked. It's masked. Oh my god, I can't say that word, masked. A mask, guys, with an ed at the end. It's like masked, you know what I mean? And it can't be seen. It can't be seen because it's like you're hiding in plain sight. And I feel like your heart is pleading, and you're in this stage of like, of wanting so badly, and you're pleading for it. You're pleading for what you want, but it's a pleading that knows better, because you know that you're coming from a place of, in a sense, desperation, and not a place of wholeness. So it's almost like there's two parts of you here. There's the beauty. I don't know if you could see, but there's stars on her cloak that she has. She has stars on her cloak, and but then she's got, kind of a not so good looking face if you look at it. And it's like you're hiding in plain sight. You're showing, you're allowing this beauty to show that is not so beautiful, right? Something that is different than what you actually are, right? Than what you actually are. You see this, the brilliance of the stars on her black cloak, It's like hiding in plain sight. A star hiding in the night sky, right? A star in the night sky hiding. Okay, so let's do this. Let's build this story with Sheela Na Gig and desperation. I'm going to ask first, why is this feeling of desperation here? Why is this feeling of desperation sitting so heavily here? Okay. We have the Two of Swords. So, Two of Swords, it's not being able to make a decision. Like there's clearly a decision that needs to be made here, but oh my god, I chose like the wrong cards here, but I'm trying to not make it shine, so you can see. But yeah, it's this feeling of not being able to make a choice, hands tied, trying to make sense of two different things, two very different things, like being pulled in two different directions in your heart, when it comes to love. But most importantly, it's this tug of war that's happening in your mind, and you're in a sense of like frenzy, and like that energy that desperation works up. It's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? It's there, like, and with the blindfold, it's, there's even more of a desperation, because you cannot see which way to go here. So that's why desperation is here, because of a choice needed to be made. Okay, so show me what the choices are. What are the two choices here? What are the choices here that are leaving you in this desperate state? You need to choose between. Okay, so the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so Three of Swords and Ace of Swords. Looking at these cards, they look very different, right? One seems empowered. the other one seems powerless. Okay? That's where the desperation is lying, and there's a lot of swords here already coming out. And you literally have 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3. Okay? The ace of swords here, the 3 of swords here, and the 2 of swords here in this desperation. So it's something that's weighing definitely heavily on your mind, and it's difficult because you're trying to intellectualize the pain that you're feeling. And the thing about it is, yes, the heart and the mind are meant to work together, but also pain in the mind and pain in the heart are very different when you try to compare them and try to relate to them, because in the mind, our pain is intellectualized. In the heart, our pain is felt. So you have a heart here in the 3 of Swords, and typically this card is like heartbreak and, woe is me and things like that. But the thing is that it's a Swords card. So it's not about a complete heartbreak. It's about anguish. It's anguish in the mind that is coming from displeasure in the heart, right? So it's a focus of pain and discomfort and woe is me in the mind. So you're on two sides here. You are between knowing, in the Ace of Wands, knowing what it is that you have to do, having the ideas and the thought processes to come up with the decision that you need to make. Like, you know what you need to do. You know that you can come up with what is needed in the situation. But you're being held by the influence of disappointment. All the things that you can think about that are going wrong or have gone wrong or will go wrong, that's where you're stuck here. And also, I feel like you don't want to make the decision, because if I move these cards now and add them here, you do not want to decide. Because if you choose to stay here, you know that you're going to persist in this disappointment. And if you move towards this clarity, you're still going to feel disappointed because this hurts. This is hurtful here. This is letting go of what doesn't serve. This desperation that you're feeling is here. Okay, so let me continue from that. So how are you going to lift yourself here? How are you going to lift yourself from this state of being unable to move? How will you lift yourself from this state of being unable to move? So the 9 of Coins, gorgeous. You're moving away from this, and you know what? I feel like it was like how I was saying, you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like this desperation, this feeling of overwhelmingness. Take it back a step or two, because you're hiding in plain sight. This is the undercurrent here. This 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Coins that we see here, this woman richly dressed, surrounded by coins, surrounded by beauty, surrounded by nature. Everything looks really, really nice in this card. That's what's hiding in plain sight. It's like this is what's underneath the surface, but you're only allowing you're allowing yourself to be blinded by hideousness, and you're blinded by hideousness. You're blinded by that energy where you feel like no matter what choice you make will be the worst choice. But the thing is that you have to choose, because what is here is this 9 of Coins. this is showing me that you know very well what it is that you deserve, but I don't feel like you feel like you're this person. I feel like you give away this power of yours. You let yourself create in your mind these obstacles and these blocks, but in this card it's showing me that this is the energy that is underlying with you, that is with you, that you are, that you embody. And to move past these blocks, it's accepting that you can create love or you can create disappointment and fear and blocks. You can take it upon yourself to show out, to be exactly what you want or what you wish to be seen, and roll with that and just go with that. Okay? So it's time to face yourself. It's time to face this, what you think you see in the mirror, and choose something different. Okay? Choose something more for yourself. Okay. So that's your reading, guys. I hope it made sense. And yeah, until the next time. Okay. Thank you. See you later. All right. Hello, pile 3. Goddess Medea, deception here. If you chose this goddess, I'm going to read a little bit here what the book says about this dark goddess. And it says, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. All may look calm and serene from where you are standing, but wait till the truth comes out, and it will." And then it says, "For then it will be too late for clever words, trickery, or playing the blame game." It says, "No one is immune to telling the odd fib or two. However, when a life is built on deception and fabrication, well, that's another thing entirely. You must be honest with yourself first and foremost, and then look to unravel the web and face the music." Her foresight says you are having the wool pulled over your eyes, and that honesty will be the best policy. It says, "Speak up even when you think you are alone, and others will support you." And it says to be thorough. Be thorough with paperwork and sign nothing until you are absolutely sure. So, with my keywords here for Medea and stalwart and stalemate, I'm seeing there's like two sides to the coin here, and there's a concentration on what is reliable, what is loyal and hardworking, versus a sense of defeat and being unable to move. Very two extremes, especially when it comes to deception, right? So it's what is and what isn't. So right now I feel like you're feeling like you're on your own, you know? You feel like you're in a web of lies, wondering, is there a reason for this? Is there an end for this? And because of the web, because of the layers of a web, it's like a question here of who is deceiving? What is deceived? Okay? So I'm going to ask firstly, why is deception here? And what is it surrounding? So why is deception here and what is it surrounding? So we have the Hermit. So I feel like with the Hermit card, there's a deception that has to do with why is deception here? What is a deception? I feel like you know exactly what is being deceived, what is the deception here, and what is at what is being deceived, because the hermit is, let's say, in the universal Rider-Waite, it's portrayed as a cloaked figure that has a lantern. He's looking ahead. He's cloaked in the night, which puts that sense of going it alone, having to find out things on your own, being being learning from being still, learning from uh, taking a step back and being in complete darkness, Like, so here, I feel like where the deception is, because you've taken that step back and you've been like a thief in the night, so to say, right? Relying on your inner light and your inner truth and what is sparked to you, like what that spark of knowing is. So I feel it's something that you've been thinking about or been knowing about for a while. So where is this deceit in your life? Where does Medea, where does she, yeah, let's say, where does she want to shine the light on? What or where, or yeah, what or where does she want to shine the light on in regards to deceit? So there's two cards. I pulled one, but this one from the top made itself known, which is the second card out, which is literally the death card. Santa Muerte is the death card. So here you have, let me hold these a little better. You have the Nine of Wands and you have Santa Muerte. So the Nine of Wands came out with the question and Santa Muerte came out secondary. So where or what is this deceit? And it's a deceit that has been a long time coming to be put to rest. Like, Santa Muerte is the death card, and yeah, death is not pleasant, but death is needed in order for something else to come about. And I feel like with the Nine of Wands, you've had to do so much work to try to keep deception away from you. You've tried to keep on the positive side of deceit, where it comes to feeling honesty and loyalty from somebody, but unfortunately it's creeped in, and I feel like you're okay with that. Like, you already know that. You're in a place of understanding. Like, the Hermit is a lifelong, it's not lifelong, I'm sorry, like, it's a major arcana card, so it has to do with greater forces than just everyday life. So I feel like that you've put in so much work already into this disaster, and you're tired. You're like, the efforts are getting very minimal when like you're putting in less effort because you don't want to. You don't want to. You're fucking over it. You're just over it already. You're ready to let this shit die out because it's done already. It's six. You've been buried 6 feet under with this crap, and you're over it yourself. This person in the normal decks, like the Rider-Waite standard tarot. This shows like a guy that's beat up. He's still having to defend his own, but he's like tired, dude. You're over it. You're so over it, and you're ready to leave whatever it is behind. You're okay. You're like, you know what? I'm not gonna call stalemate here in my case, but you're calling stalemate to the situation. You're like, okay, it went from something that was great, something that was reliable, into something that now is defeating you as a person. And you're like, you know what? Will it ever end? Yes, it will end as long as you put it to rest already. You let this go. So how can you be assisted into like chopping the final bits out here? Yeah, what can you do here to chop to get rid of this deception from your life? What can you do to assist yourself, to rid yourself of this deception? Seven of Swords. Oh, shit, man. Look at this guy. This guy is getting out of his coffin. You're like, okay, I was here. All right. I gained what I need to gain. I learned what I need to learn. You know, I didn't let my mind be preoccupied with worrisome thoughts, because you took the chance to take a break, take a breather, and actually see things for what they were. Right through the dark, you got to see what things were for what they were. And look at you here in Seven of Swords. You're like, yo, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. You know, I had hope here. I had time for hope, reflection. I had time to reflect. And I'm doing this shit on my own, okay? Bye. I'm ready. I'm out. I'm out. I survived. You know what? And I'm going to do things on my own. This Seven of Swords is like that thief in the night. The thief in the night who was able to scope the job out and then, like, get away with the prize, you know, so to speak. So this is doing it on your own, like, being okay with, like, just being like, all right, peace out. You're not worth my trouble anymore, okay? So take that strength that you built in your mind and run with it. Just run with it. Throw the deuces up. Tell that person, bye. You ain't worth my shit. You know, tell that situation, bye. You're not worth my time. All right? That's fucking great. All right, I like this. I mean, I like all the readings, but, you know, I like this, man. Self-empowerment, baby. So I hope that made sense for you, and thank you for tuning in. Until the next time, bye. All right, so if you chose pile number 4, goddess number 4, Fortuna and Fate, I'm going to read a little bit from the book as to what they said about this goddess before we get into it. It says, should you stay or should you go? Should you tell or not? Spend the money or save it? It's as if all of your decision-making skills are based on the toss of a coin at the moment. Taking risks has served you well in the past, but your run of good luck may desert you if you don't apply a bit of common sense. Gambling your life away, so to speak, might be fine if it's just you that the outcome affects, but seldom is that the case. The choices you need will put you on a firm and fruitful footing or lead you astray. Fortuna is Lady Luck personified. Okay? And the foresight that comes with this goddess is stop spending money like water. Don't fight what you cannot change. Look before you leap. Don't listen to gossip. Go to the source. And find out more about a person you are getting close to. Your luck is set to change. Ride out a storm as things are looking calmer ahead. And go with a hunch. So, talking about what I wrote here about coming in from all sides, I feel like there's, it's not overwhelming, but there's a lot coming in, okay, from all different sides. And there's so many sides of a coin, even though technically there's only like 2 sides of the coin. But is there, right? Are we talking about the flat sides? Are we talking about the corner sides? Plenty of sides, right? There's a sense here, though, of you like being on top of everything that is shifting, everything that's coming in, that's coming out, everything that's moving about you, moving around you, moving through you. It's like you are, it's seeming like you're in a place where it's okay. You're feeling good about all this, and you're your mind is probably a little sharpened right now because you can sense this. But either way, if it isn't, it's best to concentrate on the focus right now. Concentrating on focusing on everything coming in, right? Not leaving one thing unlooked at, unturned, not leaving that coin unturned, the stone unturned. Anything coming in is, there's a reason for it, and it's to be looked at and focused on. So let's start here with what is coming your way. What is fated to come your way? And what is here? Yeah, what is fated to come your way? Okay, so here we have the Three of Swords is fated to come your way. So Three of Swords is a disappointment. It's not having what you thought you might want. Okay? It's disappointment in your mind that it does create, you know, because our emotions are tied to our logical thinking as well, and that is needed, like that balance is needed, the mind and the heart. It is a disappointment that's going to touch you in an emotional level, but it's a disappointment and hurt, pain in your mind. It's in your mind that you're feeling like you're not going to get what you want. Okay? This is what's coming in. Now I want to know why this Three of Swords, this disappointment is coming in. Why is this disappointment coming in here? So this disappointment is here. This is the Six of Cups. So disappointment is here, I feel like, because there's still feelings, and there are still things that you care about very deeply that might not be the best for you, because they're just wisps and reminiscence of the actual thing. So I feel like it's a stepping backwards type of situation, a stepping backwards into what feels right and what's comfortable. And in your mind, it feels like it's a good thing. No, I'm sorry. In your heart, it feels like it's a good thing because of what it brings up. This focus, you know, of focusing on maybe past loves or past fond memories, like still wanting to hold on to that, but actually realizing that in your mind, knowing that you can't have these things because the wheel turns, and this might have been yours at one point, but it isn't any longer because things have shifted. You know, if something else had come out here, it would have been favorable for this. But there's a literal loss in this card, and so this is lost to you. It may not be yours any longer, or you may think it's not yours any longer. Okay, so let's see here. So how can Fortuna help you move past this sense of loss of what was, or, you know, what is, what your little heart, you know, felt so attached to? How can Fortuna help you move past this? So here we have the Four of Swords. So another Swords card. Getting over this is not easy. I mean, this hurts. But Fortuna is asking you to take the chance to put your mind at rest. So it's putting things at rest that, you know, cannot remain in your like energy field anymore. Because if you hold on to this Three of Swords and you don't get over what it is that you need to get over and move past from, you're not going to be able to create a sense of peace in your mind. And that is what Fortuna is asking you to do, is to create peace in your mind, create this period of rest. Like, take this period of rest as a good thing, right? To be able to work through what hurts and be able to either forgive or to let go or to put to rest things that you're still holding on to that have left you disappointed and unfulfilled and unhappy. Okay? If you can do this, if you can put your mind to rest, what comes in after this will be the High Priestess. Beautiful. The High Priestess, your only major arcana card that's coming in here, this wise owl woman, knowing, so knowing. If you could put your mind at rest, you're going to be able to know what is and isn't, meaning knowing what is and isn't for you. And you will be able to focus on not just this aspect or not just that aspect or not just this aspect of your life and that aspect of your life in separation. You're actually going to be able to have that concentration on focus and being able to focus on all. Because this High Priestess is all-seeing. She's all-knowing, she's all-seeing, she's intuitive, she's aware, she's wise. She is a heroine with the times because she will swoop in to assist. Her energy, her medicine, the High Priestess medicine and energy, you can call upon anytime you wish to connect with your intuition, anytime you wish to know something that your mind may not be able to grasp, okay? Or that your heart may not even be able to grasp. But it is all heart-centered, so everything is through the heart. But definitely something that your mind, your conscious mind will not be able to grasp. She reaches below into the unconscious and is able to bring about the answers needed in every in which moment. So knowing that, putting your mind to rest is allowing this to come in. And this energy allows you to actually bring about, like, bringing things into your life, or even feeling certain ways where you actually feel good about the decisions you've had to make, or good about where you are and where you stand with your heart and your healing and things like that. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay, and thank you very much for letting me read for you. I love doing these readings today. And yeah, thanks again. I'll talk to you again. Alright, everybody, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, if you liked what you heard, if you gained anything from this, please subscribe to my channel. Please like, please comment, do all those good things. I did this a little different. I went as I built the story, and I kind of like it. And yeah, this is just one of the many ways that I read for myself. Any given day on a I do read for myself often. I used to read for myself once a day, and then I got tired of doing that. But I like creating different spreads, using different tarot decks together and oracle decks together, and it's fun. It's exciting, and I hope that what I said today has brought some kind of clarity. Maybe a little little extra something that you already knew in yourself, and now you're like, oh shit, somebody just confirmed it for me. Either way, thank you, and yeah, this is Inacia saying, see ya later. Okay, bye.